What is up, guys? We're going to be going over our 2024 NBA mock draft. We're going to alternate every pick. So I'm going to start with pick one, and then Reese will have pick two.
Yeah, so we're just gonna do the first round. We have our own big board.
All right. So first overall, I'm going to go with Alex Sarr. Um, Out of Perth, 6'11", super versatile guy. I think he's got a lot of potential. In my opinion, is probably the best player in the draft. 6'11", can handle the ball well for a center. Really good rim protector, solid rebounder. He showed in a couple games that he can also shoot. I mean, he's not a great shooter, but I think he has the potential to be a kind of a stretch four in the NBA. And with Clint Capella probably on his way out soon, I think Alex Sarr is a great addition for the Hawks.
With the second pick, I know that the Wizards really need a center, but I don't really like the centers at second. But they really need a point guard because Tyus Jones will probably get it back somewhere else. So I think I'm gonna go Stephon Castle because he said that he only wanted to play point guard, and I mean he's a bigger guard who is a really good defender, who's versatile, and his offensive game will come. And it's a good place in Washington where he'll develop.
Yeah, he's going to get an opportunity right away. I think having a great defender alongside Jordan Poole is huge if Jordan Poole is going to stay in Washington. Yeah, and he's honestly, yeah, we have him ranked second and on our big board. And yeah, I love how big he is for a guard. And then as we saw in the tournament, he's really good around the rim. He can handle it. And I think the shooting will come. All right, so at three, I'm gonna go with
Did they change up the heights on this? Because
they did. They
yeah,
actually
they
corrected
actually
it.
yeah.
Devin Carter's not like six. What was he? 6'8".
6'8". Like
Yeah,
6'5".
they had him marked as something wild.
Yeah.
For Houston, man,
They could trade this pick. We don't know what they're gonna do,
yeah.
but if
For
they do, keep it.
mhm. I really think they just need a shooter. Honestly, I think Risa Shea is really good. I like Connect. I like Shepard. Um, I'm probably gonna go Risa Shea here. Get another big wing, even though they don't necessarily need big wings because they have a lot of them. But I think as of right here, I think Risa Shea probably has the safest floor. Maybe Dalton Connect does, but I'm gonna go Risa Shea here.
Yeah, I don't think it'll fall out of the top three.
Either
I
do
think
I.
you gotta take them. Okay, so for the fourth pick, San Antonio Spurs, they need another point guard, shooting guard who can score and play make. I think I'm gonna go with Rob Dillingham. I think him and Wemby together would be really nice, really good pick and roll, and they just need another scorer.
And obviously, he's probably the best scorer in the draft in terms of he can get buckets in a variety of different ways. Yeah, I think that's a great pick for San Antonio. At five to Detroit, I'm gonna go with Buzeles. I wasn't necessarily super high on him after his year with the G League Ignite, but I think in terms of his potential, he can relatively handle the ball. He's got a good post fade. Um, I know he didn't shoot the ball well, and kind of coming into this year, Buzelik was supposed to be one of the best shooters. That's kind of what he was known for, and I think the form is still there. I think maybe just going from playing high school guys to grown men, probably. And I mean, most G League guys that we've seen have struggled to shoot coming into the league.
Yeah.
I just think he's going to shoot better. It might take a little bit of time, and I think Detroit needs a power forward, small forward, and I think Buzeles probably has a pretty decent NBA career. So I like Buzeles here.
I'm at 6, the Charlotte Hornets. I think I'm gonna go. I think they kind of, yeah, this is
There's a
tough.
lot of good options here.
But I think they need another guard who can just shoot and like be complimentary with LaMelo and Brandon Miller. So I think I'm gonna go Reed Shepherd.
I love that pick.
Yeah, just kind of a guy that you kind of know what you're getting, but has kind of a low ceiling but like a high floor.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, yeah, the best shooter in the draft.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think this is a great pick for Charlotte, honestly. I think Reed Shepherd going to 3 to Houston might be a little too early for him,
Yeah.
just because I don't think he's going to be a generational talent or anything like
But
that.
they don't really need that for
Yeah.
right now.
But yeah, Reed Shepherd playing alongside Brandon Miller, who I think is probably going to be a really good two-way player here come soon. And then a super tall guard in LaMelo.
Yeah, and they kind of need a shooting guard.
Mhm.
Like if Brandon Miller's gonna stay at the 3, they need a shooting guard because right now it's like Cody Martin.
And if he goes to Charlotte, I don't think Shepherd comes off the floor.
Yeah.
Like he legit might play 30 plus minutes a game. So 7 to Portland. I think this is a pretty easy pick. I'm going Dalton Connect. Um, I Ron Holland. I know I've seen mocks where he's going here. I don't necessarily think it makes sense for Ron Holland to go here. Because I'm assuming that they're building around Scoot Henderson, and Scoot we've seen is not a good shooter. So
No.
bringing in another guy that can't shoot the ball, turnover prone a little bit, I don't like. And I think Dalton Connect is someone that is going to be able to contribute right away. And for Portland, I mean, he's going to get a ton of opportunity to play. And he's honestly one of my favorite prospects in this year's draft. Just one of the best scorers.
Okay, the Spurs are back up with the 8th pick. Now this could be traded too for maybe a veteran point guard, but we'll just say that they keep it. I think that they actually draft another guard. I know that he's kind of fallen because of his torn ACL, but I think you still got to take him if he's available. Nikola Topic.
Mm-hmm. I think he's best available right now.
And he's kind of the opposite of Dillingham, where he's kind of a bigger guard who's more of a playmaker.
Yeah, I think this is a perfect. If you come out drafting Topic and Dillingham, I think that's huge for the Spurs.
Yeah. Now in real life, he might fall a lot more than what we think, just because of his injuries and how he ended the season. But
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
So Memphis, I'm gonna go Donovan Clingan here. Jaren Jackson, I think you could probably play him at the 4. They obviously are. I mean, Trey Jemison's their only other big. This is either, yeah. So I think this is Clingan. Yeah, a rim protector. I think is going to be he sets great screens. You're going to be running the pick and roll with Ja Morant. I think it's going to be a ton of fun.
At 10, the Utah Jazz. I think they're a team that could just go best available and just have like a raw guy, a prospect. I think they're gonna go Ron Holland if he's still available. Because I mean, they're not really trying to win right now, and he can develop there. I think Utah is a pretty good place where you can develop.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're as of right now, their only small forward really is. I mean, I guess you can play Markkanen at the 3, but it's Bryce Sensabaugh currently listed. I think Ron Holland, yeah, he's going to get a ton of opportunity. He's going to have shooting around him, which I think is huge.
Yeah,
I mean, Markkanen,
yeah.
Keontae, Sexton, Clarkson.
Yeah.
So and he's going to bring obviously great defense, and yeah, I think he's going to have a ton of opportunity to develop for the Utah Jazz. Chicago, I think they need a guard that can play off the ball. I think Collier, I honestly am still super high on him. I know he's kind of fallen in a lot of the mock drafts, but he's got great frame. He can really score. Right now, I'm thinking
it's tough.
Devin Carter, Jacoby Walter, or even Tajani, just because I mean, power forward spot is.
We'll go to Cap. I mean, I think DeMar plays the four, and then they'll have Zach and Kobe and Caruso.
I'm gonna go
I mean-
Jacoby Walter. 6'5", great length. He's gonna be able to play defense, and he was a really good shooter in college. I know the efficiency kind of fell towards the end, but I saw flashes of him being really good. So I think he can play off ball with Kobe White. You're gonna have two 6'5" guards, which I think is pretty good to have in the NBA.
Yeah.
And they can both defend, which I think is huge. So I'm gonna go Jacoby.
Okay, at 12 with the OKC Thunder, we don't know if they'll keep this pick or not, but if they do, I think they definitely desperately need a center. And I think our favorite prospect, um, kind of maybe we really think is like the second best center is Kel'el Ware. And they just need, I think he fits the Thunder play style because he can shoot.
He can go
He
up and
can,
down for a
yeah,
7-footer. And I mean, dude, he can shoot, he can rim protect. I know
Yeah.
his motor's a little questionable, but I think going to like an OKC culture,
yeah, because they're young and he'll have fun. They're already really good.
and they've shown that they can develop guys. And I
Yeah.
think in terms of NBA ready centers, I think Kel'el Ware honestly might be the best out of the centers, even with Klingon and Edey both being in the draft. So 13 here. Yeah. What do you think? Do you think Malik Monk is staying?
Yeah, if I was him, I would stay.
Yeah.
But I think they either need maybe a backup point guard because Davion might, I don't know, because he didn't have the best year and he might get traded, or they kind of need another like three because
Mhm.
Harrison Barnes is getting up there in age. So I think it's like
I think I'm
I don't
gonna
know,
go.
Collier or Cody Williams.
You know what? I'm gonna go Isaiah Collier. I think he's gonna be really good. Um, Honestly, one of my favorite prospects. I know the efficiency wasn't there. He can defend, he can score, and towards the end of the year, he was actually playing really well. I think if he backs up De'Aaron Fox, I think that's huge for him. And then at some point, I'm assuming that they're gonna, if he develops a jump shot, you can play De'Aaron Fox and Collier together. I really like him as a prospect.
So at 14, Trailblazers are back on the clock. I think they took Dalton Connect first, who's like one of the older guys who is a NBA ready now player. And now I think they kind of need another four, another like 3-4. And I think I'm gonna go with to John. I don't really know how to say his name. The Saloon.
Mhm.
I've seen him. I've seen his highlights a little bit. He seems like a really good slasher, really good dunker. But we'll see if he can develop a jump shot and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen, he's a good catch and shoot guy. Doesn't really do much off the dribble, but he's also a great defender, which at 6'10", yeah, I think he can guard 2 through 4, which is huge.
Yeah.
So here I'm gonna go Devin Carter. I know there have been talks that he had a lottery promise. I'm not sure how true that is. But Big East Player of the Year, I mean, he averaged 24 and 9, shooting 47%. Talk about someone that can come in for Miami and instantly impact them right away. If he's still here, I think it's probably one of the best fits in the draft for Devin Carter to go to Miami. I mean, this dude lives and breathes basketball. I think he'd be a huge piece for Miami for the future.
Yeah, I like it. He seems like a Heat type of guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so at 16 is the Philadelphia 76ers and go down. No, go down in the roster. Go to Cap. See, okay. I mean, Tobias Harris is obviously gone. And they kind of, I think, there's no way Tobias Harris stays.
No,
But
there's no
Batum's
shot.
getting older. They got a bunch of like kind of just like average point guards other than Tyrese Maxey. Like their backups aren't great, but I think go back up. I feel like if Cody Williams is still there,
You
yeah,
have to take him, yeah. And I mean, he was super efficient at Colorado. Obviously, he didn't play very much in the tournament. And I think there's concerns with him in terms of his motor. But I mean, dude, he shot so efficient. He didn't take many threes. Obviously, he's Jalen Williams' brother. I think if he goes to Philly, that's a great pick for them.
Yeah, they could use another guy who could contribute right now. And Buddy Hield kind of fell off a little bit
Mm-hmm.
when he got there, and I feel like he would. I mean, with playing with Joel Embiid, it would take a little pressure off him because of Joel Embiid. So
And he's a great cutter.
yeah,
So being Maxi and Embiid being the primary focuses, um, Cody Williams, I'm assuming will get a ton of dunker spot dunks or just backdoors. So Lakers at 17, man. God, they need a center so bad. I'm not going Zach Edey though.
I think it's either between Jared McCain.
And probably these three,
Yeah,
honestly.
probably those three, because I do think they might need another like backup four.
Got Reeves.
Because I mean,
Gabe Vincent was
Gabe Vincent
terrible.
was terrible, and they picked up Spencer Dinwiddie, who wasn't good. So I feel
Mhm.
like, yeah, Jared.
I'm gonna go McCain. Why not just get someone else
They
that can
need
shoot?
more shooting
And
too.
no offense to D'Angelo Russell, when it comes to playoff time, dude just forgets how to play basketball. And McCain can come in and he's gonna hit shots if he's open,
Yeah.
which I think is huge. So yeah, I like Jared McCain here.
Okay, so for the Magic at 18, they need shooting. That's like the most thing that they'll probably go after. I mean, it's either between Tristan da Silva and Tyler Smith. I think with how they're built, I think they'll go Tyler Smith because I think he's more athletic and he's shown that he can shoot outside.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, their whole team is just a bunch of athletic guys, and I think he'll fit in pretty well.
Just athletic and length, really, and
Yeah,
they just need shooting. Yeah, I love this pick for them. Tyler Smith, G League Ignite, 6'10", stretch four. Yeah, I think it'd be super fun to see him alongside Paulo, Franz. Yeah, I love that fit. Toronto, I'm gonna go Zach Edey here. I know they have Jakob Podol. Um, Zach Edey just recently worked out with the Raptors. He's gonna go back to Canada. Um, I think there's a shot he gets pretty good minutes for the Raptors in his first year.
yeah, because they're not winning anything soon.
Yeah, and I think yeah, hometown kid from Canada. Obviously, absolutely dominated in college. I think there's going to be growing pains in terms of him defensively, but on offense, I think he's still going to be super hard to stop down low. I mean, he's got great touch around the rim. I think yeah, defense is kind of a question mark as of right now. We've seen he gets better every year, so yeah, I love this pick for Toronto.
I think at 20 for the Cavs, they kind of just still need a little bit more shooting and more athleticism. I think I'm gonna go Tristan da Silva. He's not like as athletic as the other guys, but he can score, he can
A
shoot,
great
he's got
shooter,
good length.
and he's smart. I think he's
Yeah,
a smart player
yeah,
that plays hard. So yeah, George Niang shit the bed for us in the playoffs. So someone that can actually come in and just hit an open shot would be
yeah,
awesome.
and he'll be able to play some better defense than George
Yeah,
because that I mean I could play better defense than.
yeah, bro is a walking fridge.
Yeah,
So yeah, for the Pelicans, I think I'm gonna go. I love Yves Missy, Filipowski. I like Bub. Do you think they need a center, or do you think they need a backup point guard, or maybe even like CJ McCollum? I really don't think is the best option at point guard.
no, I don't know what this team's gonna do because they might trade Brandon Ingram. I don't. think I don't think Valanciunas is still there, but I think you see that sometimes Valanciunas is a little unplayable, so I think they need another center. And I like Filipowski because he can with Zion.
Yeah, the issue with
He's
Filipowski
not.
is that he can't defend
Yeah.
anybody down low. But I think pairing Filipowski with Zion, just having a shooting big, which is something that they don't have, I think can kind of maybe unlock more spacing, give Zion more room to operate. So I'm going to go Filipowski here.
Okay, so it's 22, the Phoenix Suns. Mm, They kind of need. I mean, they need a actual point guard, but I think more they need
An athletic center.
they need an athletic center who. I mean, Nurkic isn't the long-term guy, and the backup center, Drew Eubanks, isn't great either. So I think they can get with no more athletic center. Go Missy.
Yeah, and if you want to push the ball, which you should, having KD, Beal, and Booker, and even Grayson Allen had a great year. I think pairing them with Yves Missy, great rim protector. He's young. He plays super hard. He really runs the floor. I think would be huge for them. So at 23 to Milwaukee, I'm going to go Bob Carrington. I think they really need a backup point guard. Damian Lillard obviously got off to a rocky start. He ended really well. They got injured in the playoffs. They're going to be really good next year. Bob Carrington, a 6'5" point guard that can really score. Efficiency wasn't great, but he was asked to do a lot at Pitt. I think he's got a really nice handle. He can create shots for himself. I think it's just going to be a perfect opportunity for him to be a backup.
Yeah, they just need some young guys because they're like one of the oldest teams in the NBA.
Yeah.
And none of their young guys are great scorers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for what is this, 24?
Yeah,
Yeah.
24 New York.
New York, I mean, their biggest problem was injuries, but with OG with OG still being a free agent, you don't know if he's gonna come back. I think that I think they're actually gonna go Johnny Furphy.
Johnny Furphy.
Yeah, because they kind of needed another just 3-and-D dude.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of fits the Knicks.
Yeah, and I think he 6'9" shooter.
Yeah, 6'9" shooter. Like
that is actually relatively athletic as well. I think it's a great pick for them. And then at 25, so I love Furphy. I'm probably I love Terrence Shannon. Like I said, like the lawsuit, I'm not sure how that affects him. I love Shireman. I think if they do go Furphy, they probably go with somebody older that can come and contribute right away. So I think it's between Shireman, Shannon, Holmes, McCullough. Um, I mean, Julius Randle, there's been trade rumors with him. Do you think Deron Holmes? Or do you think they need another wing?
no, I think they actually need another like 4 or 5 because I mean Precious he was okay, but I feel like with Mitchell Robinson always injuries and Julius Randle also injuries.
They just need more depth at big.
Yeah.
Hardenstein didn't even come off the floor in the playoffs. Deron Holmes, 6'10" out of Dayton. I mean, just look at his stats. He averaged 20 a game on 54% shooting. He's a solid defender, is versatile. He can stretch the floor. And like Reese said, the Knicks need more depth at forward, so I think they go Deron Holmes here.
I think at 26 for the Wizards, they kind of went with fit in the second pick. I think they just got best available and take Keyshawn George. I mean he's a big 6'8" guard. He was a good defender and can shoot.
Yeah, I mean, at Miami, obviously Miami was really bad last year. I thought they were going to be really good. They brought in a ton of talent. George had spurts where he looked really good. Super young, but having 6'8", 205, he can handle it. He can distribute. He can shoot. I think the Wizards getting him is huge. I mean, so you draft Castle in the first, and then you get a really efficient a guard, I think, in Kaishan George. So yeah, I love that pick. Minnesota, I'm going Terrence Shannon Jr. I mean, with the lawsuit, I don't know what's going to happen, but dude, not only can he score, he is a great defender. And I felt like what the or in the Mavericks series, I felt like the Timberwolves really struggled with other guys. Like Towns was obviously really bad. Anthony Edwards wasn't necessarily super efficient from three. McDaniels had that really good first game. I think bringing in a wing that can not only defend but can really score, I think is just perfect for them.
Yeah, they just need another guy off the bench who can score and hit shots
I mean,
and defend.
he was the leading scorer for Illinois, and he was still their best defender. Like that's unheard of to average 23 and be the best defender on your team.
Oh yeah, 28 to Denver Nuggets. Their bench got a lot worse this year, where they could really only play like Christian Braun.
Reggie Jackson was obviously solid, but
He was
older.
Yeah, he had some spurts that were good, and then some where you just couldn't really play him. But I like Baylor Steierman, uh, guard, who is one of the older prospects. He's almost like 24, but that's like what the Nuggets need. They're not gonna like develop anyone right now. They're on win now mode, and Baylor's one of the best shooters in the draft. And you see his stats. I mean, 18, 4 and 9. Like he can rebound. He's a good defender and has good length.
He's a good playmaker
Yeah,
too.
he does. Yeah.
I mean, with Reggie Jackson being older, I mean, I think you could legit have Shireman kind of help run the show because at North Dakota State before he was at Creighton, I mean, he was kind of their facilitator, and I think he can still do that at the NBA level. I absolutely love this pick for Denver.
Yeah, he's another guy that Jokic can kick out to and hit shots, and same with Baylor.
So we went Ron Holland. Um, I think I'm gonna go Bobby Klintman here. 6'10". I think he's more of a three. He can play the four, freakishly athletic. Played in the NBL last year. Yeah, 6'10", 225. Super athletic. He's super versatile. I think he can defend 2 through 4, maybe even 5. Um, he had a really good freshman year at Wake Forest. A lot of people thought maybe he would have gotten drafted last year. I would have loved to have seen him come back to college. But I think the Jazz are just looking for someone that's younger and has potential. And I think Bobby Klintman is one of them.
So to round out the first round, the Boston Celtics have the last pick in the first round. They honestly, I don't really know if they really need anyone, to be honest, but their bench is a little weak, and I kind of, I like Kevin McCullough, older guy who, I mean, he's probably you see in the older guys like Jaime who can like
come in and
contribute right away, and that's what the Celtics need because they don't really have time to develop anyone. And I mean, he's kind of
he's definition of 3-and-D at this point.
He's got a good size, and he's kind of in a position where they need off the bench.
I mean, I think McCullough could play shooting guard, small forward. Honestly, if you want to go small ball, power forward. Started his career at Texas Tech, elite defender, comes to Kansas. Wasn't a great shooter, and then he showed this year that he could be one of the best second options behind Hunter Dickinson. One of the best defenders in the draft. I think if he doesn't get hurt, I could see him going as early as 24. With the injury, I think he falls a little bit. And talk about Boston getting an absolute steal at 30. So yeah, I absolutely love this pick. Yeah, so that is our first round. Thank you guys for watching. Leave comments. We love seeing what everyone else thinks about these draft picks. Yeah, and thanks for watching.
Yeah.